Hello, everyone. My name is Shao Chenren, and I'm here to give my presentation about the ethical analysis. And my topic is Cyberpunk 2077. Forward. So the purpose of this talk is actually to explore the prosthetics and artificial intelligence, morality, and how we will approach it in the future. Well, most of the technologies are difficult to implement. This issue will be discussed over time. Even though it's a video game, the issue it presents are also relevant to our days. So let's do a quick poll here. Did you play or hear Cyberpunk before? Yes, no. Kind of know it, but not sure about the details. Since there is no audience, I will just pass. Introduction. Cyberpunk 2077 is a 2020 action role-playing video game that's developed and published by the CD Projekt. The story takes place in Net City, an open world set in the cyberpunk universe. Player assumes that the first-person perspective of the custom ball, known as a V, who can acquire skills in hacking or other options for melee or ranged combat. So the open world Net City, California consists of 6 regions: the corporate Central, and the inhabitant Western Bloc, the Hollywood, the gang-infested Pacific, and also the industrial Santo Domingo. And also its surrounding area, the Badlands, can also be explored. So we navigate this location on foot or in the vehicle, which are subject to either a third or first person view. Pedestrians are also vulnerable to the vehicular collisions depending on the location. So the law enforcement may be alert if we commit a crime. Radio stations are also available to listen to. The 4D net circle are dynamic weather affect the way non-player character behavior. So we owns the apartment and the garage. Here's actually the picture of the in-game. The top left one is the Japantown of the Net City. And for those two on the right, it's a map of the overview. So it shows like the different parts of the Net City. So the interesting thing about this game is that instead of just leveling up like a normal RPG game, the main way to get power in this game is to install a different electronic device on the body, such as hacker chips, knives, robotic legs, or arms. In the game, we even come across a human whose whole bodies have been transformed into the machines. So the question arises, should we give up our original organs just to be more functional? For example, our hands, in order to grasp things better, we replace our original hands with the robotic hands, but actually we lose the sensation for our hands. The first poll, is it morally permissible for people to replace of the body parts just only in pursuit of the better functionality? Yes, no, and undecided. So here's a potential argument for both sides. For the no part, we are born to keep our body as whole as possible. Even though we gain more function, we also lose more by losing sensation in our hands. Yes, for the yes part, AI prosthetics makes better function can lead to a better life. So the better AI prosthetics might help persons survive better. Better AI prosthetics can perform more difficult tasks. And for me personally, I'm on the no part. Because actually for the cultural stuff, I'm from China. So in our culture, we believe that we have to keep our body as whole as possible. But I'm understanding of the yes option. So at the end of the game, there will be a group of the special individuals. They are called Cpsc. These groups, because of the implant too many prosthetics, some of the body parts are become malfunctional. Thus, they are affecting their minds. And then there was another group of people who changed more and more until there are no parts of their body that belonged to themselves. And then they change their personalities because of the body parts affecting their minds. For example, the radical people become calm, but it's all could be the reverse. So here's the issue involved. These people replaced more and more body parts, give up the original body in pursuit of the better function, even until all body parts have been replaced. Then these people who replaced all their body parts, are they still the same person they were? So here's a second poll. If all parts of the person were replaced, would he still be the same person? Yes, no, and undecided. Here's the argument for both sides. For the yes part, whatever they change their body, they are still themselves. The man decided to change their body, even though I changed my body parts. But if my mind doesn't change, I won't change. And for the no part, all your body parts are not belonging to yourself anymore. You are clearly not who you are at the beginning. People's body cells completely change every 7 years. So biologically, if you change all your body parts, you are not you. And my stance for this question is no. Because if you change all your body parts, actually you won't feel hungry, thirsty, or any feelings anymore, because all of them are just artificial intelligence prosthetics. So biologically, you are not a human anymore. So how could you be, you say you are same as before? So at the first glance, it seems predictable that those who vote on no in the first vote will also vote on no on the second. And people who vote on yes in the first poll are likely vote on no in the second poll, and some of them will keep their position. So the people who vote on yes, they may ask one question: although my body changed, my mind remains the same. I'm still me. Can I add more body parts at my will? Answer for this question: if we do artificial intelligence prosthetics, then our consciousness will change with the addition of the parts. So just as in case of the psychosis, who went insane by adding too many artificial intelligence parts. So the main question, people who choose yes because they think their thoughts will not change, but actually our consciousness is determined by the material. Just for example, so we can never imagine a color that has never been seen before. So when our body parts are replaced by the mechanical ones, and will no longer feel hungry, pain, cold, and so on, are we still themselves? Of course, no. So for the conclusion, well, this question and debates are about how we approach replacing our AI prosthetics. We can judge from our answer and how we feel about it. By using a fiction scenario, we are able to build a mental view of what future artificial intelligence prosthetics might look like, and thus form their judgments. Through the Cyberpunk 2077 and the case, also the question presented in the talk, we can begin to develop our own vision of the AI prosthetics and be well prepared for the future. Thank you so much. Here's my source page. Thanks.